Hello and welcome to Reason News. In today's top story, US President Donald Trump has expressed cautious optimism about a potential peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, stating he has his own deadline to end the conflict. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited South Africa, a trip cut short due to renewed Russian attacks on Kyiv. We bring you the latest developments on these intertwined diplomatic efforts and their global implications. On Thursday, Donald Trump told reporters at the White House that he believes both Russia and Ukraine want peace and that he has set his own timeline to expedite a resolution to the war. Trump highlighted what he described as a pretty big concession from Russian President Vladimir Putin, noting that Moscow has halted efforts to take over the entire country. Trump emphasized that his loyalty lies with ending the loss of life and that both sides need to make compromises. He suggested Ukraine might need to concede some territories currently under Russian control, a stance that has sparked controversy. Following a devastating missile and drone attack on Kyiv that killed at least 12 people, Trump publicly urged Putin to stop the strikes, calling the timing unnecessary and poorly timed. Here's a video from the Associated Press.
So we are thinking that very strongly that they both want peace. But they have to get to the table. We're waiting a long time. They have to get them to the table, and I think we're going to get peace. We want to save 5,000 young people. I used to say 2,500. I now say 5,000. We have, Mr. Prime Minister, we have about 5,000 young people a week that are dying in that ridiculous war. And, I started out because I didn't like all the money that we were paying, and then I realized how many people were dying. And that's by far the more important element right now. I'm saying we can save thousands of people. And I don't like that it takes long at all, but I think they both want to make peace. I do believe so. There's a lot of hatred there. There's a lot of very bad blood, a lot of distrust. But I think I hope we're going to get there for the sake of a lot of young people that are dying.
Mr. President, do you have a deadline for when the party?
I have my own deadline. And we want it to be fast. And the Prime Minister is helping us. He wants it to be fast too. And I think everybody in this, at this time in NATO, they want to see this thing happen. So we have a deadline, and after that, we're going to have a very much different attitude. But I think it has a very good chance of getting done.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in South Africa for a historic official visit, marking the first by a Ukrainian head of state in 33 years. His visit aimed to strengthen diplomatic ties and seek support amid the ongoing conflict. President Cyril Ramaphosa reaffirmed South Africa's concern over the war's humanitarian toll and emphasized dialogue as the path to peace. Ramaphosa also spoke with Putin earlier this week, highlighting South Africa's diplomatic balancing act. Here's a video from EWN reporter Thabiso Goba.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has just completed his working visit to South Africa. President Cyril Ramaphosa has described the visit as historic, as this is the first time in 33 years that a head of state in Ukraine has visited Pretoria. Now, Zelensky's visit had to be cut short due to the news that Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv was hit with a Russian missile, killing 8 people and injuring hundreds more. Zelensky is due to take a flight back to Ukraine, where he's going to be dealing with the matter and the ongoing conflict with Russia. During Zelensky's short visit in South Africa, he engaged President Cyril Ramaphosa on strengthening bilateral ties between South Africa and Ukraine. President Cyril Ramaphosa says there's a number of departments where Ukraine and South Africa can actually collaborate. This is in agriculture, energy, and in farming. However, the main topic for today was the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The conflict has been going on for over 3 years now, since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. President Cyril Ramaphosa has told his Ukrainian counterparts to take a leaf from how South Africa got its freedom from apartheid South Africa. He says there was true diplomacy and sitting down to talk. Ramaphosa has told Zelensky that the only way for peace to be reached is through negotiations and not through bombs or strength. Zelensky has welcomed the Africa peacekeeping mission, which went to Ukraine and Russia last year in a bid to bring about peace between the two warring nations. Zelensky says Ukraine is open to talks of an unconditional ceasefire with Russia.
However, Zelensky's visit faced opposition from pro-Russia groups in South Africa who protested against the Ukrainian leader's presence. Tragically, during Zelensky's visit, Kyiv suffered a major missile and drone assault, resulting in multiple casualties, including children. In response, Zelensky announced he would cut short his South African trip to return home immediately. The attacks underscored the fragility of the current peace process and the ongoing humanitarian crisis. Recent peace talks involving US, European and Ukrainian officials in London have stalled, with little progress after the withdrawal of US Secretary of State Marco Rubio from negotiations. Analysts remain skeptical about the prospects for a swift resolution. South Africa's role as a mediator is complicated by limited influence over the main parties and internal political divisions. While South Africa advocates for dialogue, critics warn it risks being caught between competing global interests. The road to peace remains uncertain, with diplomatic efforts facing significant hurdles. South Africa's engagement reflects a desire to contribute to resolution, but the conflict's complexity continues to challenge all involved. We will continue to monitor these developments closely. Stay with us for more updates on this evolving story. Until next time, stay updated, stay informed, and stay curious.